The Suicide Squad James Gunn sequel/reboot/relaunch of 2016 Suicide Squad will be hitting theaters in 2021 with a change in direction and a huge lineup which won't include some major characters from the first installment. I'm Greg Elliott with Screen Rant, and let's take a look at every character that's not returning for the Suicide Squad follow-up. Despite the first movie actually doing pretty well financially and having 4 of the major characters from it returning for the new film, the sequel will actually exist in a different continuity than the first. New characters like Ratcatcher and Polka-Dot Man will be joining the crew, but these major characters apparently still weren't good enough to make the team this time around.
Oops. Y'all jokers must be crazy.
Will Smith was one of the first people attached to the Suicide Squad sequel even before anything for it was set in stone, and he and director David Ayer even worked together again on the Netflix film Bright. But when Ayer left Suicide Squad 2, Smith couldn't stay on due to scheduling conflicts when it got delayed, so it's pretty safe to say that the Fresh Prince won't be on the Sniper's throne for round 2. Some people thought Idris Elba was going to replace him as Deadshot, but it's now looking like he's going to play somebody else entirely, possibly Vigilante or maybe Bronze Tiger. The door is not totally closed for a Will Smith comeback though, and he could still return if there's a Suicide Squad 3 or a Deadshot spin-off.
Blah, 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 blah. All of that chit-chat's gonna get you hurt.
Oh my God.
After not even showing up in Birds of Prey, the likelihood of Jared Leto's Joker returning for the Suicide Squad is pretty much zero. I may be one of the only fans of his Joker here at Screen Rant, or maybe anywhere else it seems, but after having most of his scenes cut from the first film, and then Joaquin Phoenix's Oscar-winning take on the Clown Prince of Crime blowing everybody away, the DCEU's version of him has pretty much become a joke himself. And since he's now shacking up with Sony and Marvel to play Morbius, we're pretty sure that Leto's turn as the Jester of Genocide is a one and done.
Ain't you scared?
Why'd they put you down here?
I asked.
The iconic Batman villain Killer Croc's design actually won the film an Oscar for Best Makeup, but maybe the process was too much to go through again, and Adewale Akinnuoye Agbaje says he doesn't expect to return to the franchise anytime soon. Instead, the sequel will replace Killer Croc with King Shark as the team's muscle. King Shark was actually supposed to be in the first film, but David Ayer chose Croc instead because King Shark would have required too much CGI, so for now, Killer Croc will just have to enjoy that shortened jail sentence and all the BET he can watch.
This is Katana. She's got my back. I would advise not getting killed by her.
Similar to the Joker, Katana was also supposed to play a bigger role in Suicide Squad, and early trailers even showed scenes of her being possessed by Enchantress that never made it to the big screen. But who knows, now that Zack Snyder's getting the chance to show us his version of Justice League, maybe we'll get to see this scene in its entirety in the Ayer cut, which has been confirmed to actually exist.
I've been waiting for you all night. Step out of the shadows, I won't bite.
And last up to not be returning to the Suicide Squad sequel is June Moon, aka Enchantress, which shouldn't really come as much of a surprise even though her man-friend Rick Flag will be back. Her character completed her story arc and went back to being a normal human being at the end of the film, and we don't think that she'd really have any intention of going back to that. Although these 5 won't jive with the rest of the sequel's cast, it's refreshing to see some new and outrageous villains putting their lives on the line for round 2. But you can never say never these days, depending on the reception of the upcoming DC films and how the Snyder Cut release goes, the return of the original squad isn't totally off the table. We'll keep you posted as we find out more about the movie, so make sure to keep checking back with Screen Rant to stay in the loop. I'm Greg Elliott, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Adios.